Hello crochet friends, today I'm going to share with you how I made this cute turkey here. For this turkey I used worsted weight yarn, Red Heart. This is a size 4 acrylic yarn, and the hook I use for this size of yarn is a 5mm hook. If you like to use a hook that's a little bigger, a little smaller, it's really not a big deal. Use what feels good for you to crochet. We're not wearing this, so if it's a little loosier or a little tighter, it should be okay. I'm going to use this piece to attach it to a Thanksgiving wreath I am making, and I hope to be sharing that with you still this year as I make a Thanksgiving wreath for 2021. You might want to use it as an applique on a pillow, or if you use different yarn or maybe thread that's thinner, you would get a smaller turkey and you could use it as an applique to kitchen towels or anything else that you think this would look adorable on. Then also take into consideration that if you do thinner yarn or even thread, that you adjust the size of hook accordingly. And then as a result of using thinner yarn or even thread, you will get a much smaller turkey. I'm using 5 different colors to make this turkey. So here we have white, orange, 2 shades of brown, and red. This turkey needs some assembling. So at first you will do the wings. I have just a sample here. This your first piece. Then you're going to be working on the body of the turkey, which is this triangle here behind the beak. Then you will work on the beak and this funny looking thing here, which makes a turkey, right? The waddle. And once you're done with the beak and the waddle, which is all one piece, you will attach that to the triangle. That you will leave aside. Then you will work on 2 legs. When those legs are done, you will attach the legs to the wings right here. And then when that's finally done, you will pick up the triangle that has the beak on it already and attach that to the wing. And once you make this turkey, I would love to see it. I have a Facebook group that you can join. The link for that group is in the descriptions of this video. So go ahead and find me there. It's called Crochet and Beyond with Angela. So there you can show pictures of the things that you learn how to make here in my channel. Well, Thanksgiving is around the corner here for us. So what about we get busy and let's get working on this turkey. Let's go. With your hook and yarn, let's get started. I have 2 colors here available already. We'll start with the brown, but make sure that the white one is available because we will need it soon. So a couple rows in brown, and then pretty soon the white will come in as well. I do have a sample here, as you can see, of the back part of the turkey, so that as we go, you can see how it forms and more or less where we are at. It kind of helps to have this visual here. So let's get started. You need a chain of 8 chains. The way people start chains can be different. So I have my way, it works for me. If you like to do it like I do, great. If you have a better way, no worries. You can do it your way. It works as long as we get a knot. That's the important thing. So my initial knot to make my initial chain is done like this. I make a loop here, put the hook right there, and then I hold on tight here and chain 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I hold at the top here and then I pull, and that makes a knot and 1 chain already. I need a total of 8. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Now join this here to the very first chain you made with a slip stitch. So put it right in that top loop and with a slip stitch, join. Now the first row is as follows. Chain 2, 8 half double crochets into the ring. This is a half double crochet. Now I have 3 loops and then go through all 3. That's a half double crochet. That's 1. Now this tail here, I like to crochet it into the ring. So as I work my half double crochets, it's tucked in there and it's already been weaved in, so that later when I'm done and I have to cut these tails, I just snip it off. I don't have to weave it in with a needle. So here's already 3 of them. I needed 8, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There is my 8 half double crochets. Now, before we move on into row 2, let me just be clear here with you. What is a stitch? Okay, when we complete a double crochet, a half double crochet, a single crochet, any stitch, it leaves a chain at the top. Any stitch will do that. And those I refer to stitches. Sounds good? Now, here, for example, I had those very first 2 chains. Oops, sorry. There we go. Here and here. Those are not a stitch. All right. Now here was my first half double crochet. So that makes 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's upon these stitches that your next row, as we turn around, will be built upon. I call them stitches. Sometimes people refer them, oh, do this on the previous single double crochet, half double crochet, or something like that. It's the same idea, but in my videos, I like to be consistently saying that everything that a stitch makes, the chain here is always a stitch, no matter what kind of stitch it was at the bottom, okay? So let's move on to row 2. Before you turn, chain 1. Now you turn, single crochet in the next stitch, which is this one right there, its neighbor. So here is that chain, the next stitch is right there. So single crochet here. Single crochet, increase in the next stitch. That means you do 2 single crochets in the same spot. Now keep repeating the same idea. Single crochet in the next, single crochet, increase in the next until we get to the end of the row. There is 1, there is 2, there is 1. And now here towards the end of the row, you have this stitch here, right there. And there you do 2. Your total of stitches on round 2 is supposed to be 12. So go back here and let's count to see if we got them right. So this is your first stitch, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. They are all there. Row 3, chain 1 and turn. Now we're starting row 3. Here, you single crochet on every single stitch. So right here, close to home, right there, make sure you get both loops. And you go on each one of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there is the last one right here. That makes 12. So as I crocheted, I already counted, so I know I still have 12. Let's go into row 4. Chain 2 and turn. 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So we are increasing on each stitch. So here we go. Increase here. That makes 2. And so on and so forth. 3 and 4. And here is where I'm going to leave you doing all the stitches on your own. We're going to meet again when we get right here. We'll count the stitches. Make sure we will have the right amount, which I already know will be 24. I'm almost at the last stitch. It's just that the last one always looks so bumpy and weird, but that is your stitch, so go for it. So you need to do 2 on it. Just make sure that you turn it slightly and you see both loops and you insert it in both loops. See right there? Sometimes we can miss that bottom loop there. And we do 2 here. So let's see if we got 24 stitches. We go from the beginning here. There is your first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There we go. That completes row 4. Let's move on with row 5. Before you turn here, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, then turn. So now row 5 starts. This chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. You need to now do a double crochet on each stitch until the end of the row. Note that when we get at the end of the row, we are going to change color. So make sure that your white is ready to go. Double crochet, not here. We don't want this one here because we already made a double crochet here. So we kind of skip this stitch right there. We go right there. That is your first stitch. And here you double crochet on every single stitch, and I'm gonna let you do that until the end of the row. Make sure that you include both loops. All right, so do that until we get to the one before the last one, then I'll meet with you again. Here's 2 more to go, so I will do a double crochet here. Now on the last one, pay attention to this. You're not gonna quite finish up your double crochet because you will join the white. So look carefully what I'm gonna do here to change color. Start your double crochet on that last stitch and go up until you have 2 loops on the hook. Then pick up the other color and sort of hold it in the back here, and then finish your double crochet. So it's a little loosey here, but make sure that you leave a tail here that's big enough so that it doesn't escape. And all you have to do is just hold tight here. This finishes row 5. And you should still have 24 stitches, considering the first 3 chains, which are considered a double crochet. You should have 24. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There they are. Let's get started on row 6. Chain 1 and turn. So here we go. Let's start row 6. You're going to do a single crochet in every single stitch right there. That is 1, 2, and here you will go to the end of the row up until here, and again we will meet there. Again, I say it over and over again, make sure that you include both loops. So let's do here, this one, and 1 more. So go ahead and work independently until you get to the end here. There, 2 more stitches to go here, and the very last one is on the 3rd chain of those chain 3 we had at the beginning of this previous row, remember? So there is 1, 2, and 3, because that counts as a stitch. So that's where your last stitch is. Okay, now from here to here, you should have 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All done. This finishes row 6. Let's begin row 7. Chain 1 and turn. You're going to be doing the same single crochets on these stitches, but the difference here is that you're going to crochet only on the back loop. So pay attention carefully here. Turn this a bit like this way. See, you have the front loop and the back loop. I need you to crochet only on that back loop. So you'll have to sort of like bring your stitches towards you more and more. Okay, so don't forget that this is not a stitch. This chain 1 here doesn't count for anything. And this is your very first place to insert. So right there, just the back loop. And we go for 1, and then the next one, same thing. 2, see, 3, just the back loop. 4, and then do that until the end of the row. And this is what it makes. It makes a line here, see? So it looks sort of like 3D. Kind of feels like there is some texture to it. Now we are almost at the end here. And earlier when we started here, I forgot to mention that we're going to change color here again. But we have the string right here. The yarn is ready to go. So you're ready, just so you know what's coming. So there's 2 more to go, see? And this one here, don't finish the single crochet. Come up to here. Now see that your yarn is still here. You didn't cut it. So it's right here waiting for you. So sort of like bring it about close to your work so that it's kind of about this much. So you don't want to tighten this up too much. You want to leave it more or less flexible. Then yarn over and bring it through. And there we go. So you just have to tighten up the white a little, and there we go. So this way, because our color change always happens on the same side, so we can always use the yarn from the bottom to the top and it's not too far away. So in this project, that works. All right, so here we are done with row 7. And that takes us up until here, see? So now we have a little bit more of brown to work and the final end here at the top of the wing. This here, by the way, is a separate single crochet. So when we get there, I'll show you how to do the bottom there. So we're almost done. Let's begin row 8. Chain 3, and then you turn. So row 8 begins here. Simple here. You will do a double crochet on each stitch. Remember that when we do a chain 3 here, this counts as your first stitch. So we gotta skip this and go here. Does that make sense? So from here, you do a double crochet on every single stitch. Make sure, again, I say it again, include both loops in the back right here. There it is. Do that until the end of the row, and we will meet again here. And here is 2 more to go. And that will finish up row 8. There it is. As usual, we have not increased, so you should have, including this one, 24 stitches. Let's count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. All good. Let's begin row 9. Chain 3 and turn. Now here, it's very similar to row 8. The only difference is that in between your double crochets, you have to chain once. So your very first double crochet goes not here, but here. There it is. That's your first one. Then chain. Then go right next to it again, double crochet. So we're not skipping stitches either. And chain. So every single stitch gets a double crochet, but in between each double crochet, there's a chain. And it makes it just a bit bigger here because we need that to be able to insert 3 stitches. That's why I'm making those chain 1 spaces so we can make a nice cute edging. So I like you to be working the sequence here. Let's repeat that one more time, which is a chain and then a double crochet, a chain and a double crochet until the end of the row. When we get to the end, we will meet again. And here's 2 more stitches to go. I still got to do a chain here, a double crochet here, a chain, and then here at the 3rd chain, remember the chain 3 here? It's 1, 2, 3 right there. That makes your last one. Alrighty. Now here you should have 24 double crochets, still the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm very picky here about counting our stitches. It's important because sometimes things happen and you miss a stitch or a place and then things get off and you don't know where it was. Oh man, it just avoids so much trouble when we are constantly counting our stitches. Now let's move on here to row 10. And I forgot something here again. I'm gonna open this here up to here because we need to change color. So I just went a bit backwards here, see, to there. And you're going to change color. And yes, my white is still there. I didn't cut it. I put it around my fingers and make it more or less the same length from there to there. We don't want to tighten it up too much. Keep it fairly loose and pull through. And then you changed color. Yeah, keep it loosey. We are going to hide this with this edging here. So don't worry too much about it. Looks a little weird right now, but we're going to hide it. So just leave it loosey enough. Now we're going to do the last row, which is right here, this cute edging. So it has a certain sequence. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. It's very simple sequence, but I'll have it on the screen here for you. And once I do 2 sequences for you, you will repeat them until the end on your own. All right, so let's go. Chain 1 and turn. Row 10 starts now. You're going to be crocheting into the chain 1 spaces now. So the sequence looks like this. On this one, you do 1 single crochet. On the next one, you will do a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a half double crochet, all in the same spot. That's the sequence. Now repeat that sequence onward. I'll do one more with you. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and half double crochet. So keep repeating that sequence until you get to the end, and guess what? We're gonna meet again. There, we have one more chain 1 space here, and that is a single crochet. And that's that. We're practically done here. Now to finish up this here, you go to the top of the chain 3. There's a chain 3 here from before. Remember, 1, 2, 3 at the 3rd chain. Insert there, slip stitch, and close it. Yeah, cut and finish it off. There we go. See? All done. Now, this one here, you can cut already because remember, I weaved it in. Unless you didn't, if it's not weaved in, then you need to do it with a needle. But I weaved it in as I crocheted, so I can just cut it already. Now here, oh, this one here, by the way, we could have actually gotten rid of it sooner. Didn't think of it. Sorry about that. Now to finish up, we're going to make this edging here at the bottom of the wings to hide these loopies here. Yeah. Now do this. Look at your turkey and look where that edge is that you did. Remember when you made that one row that you had to crochet in the back loop? It should be popping towards you here, okay? This is the wrong side, you can't see it, and this side, you can. Now, turn it upside down, and we are going to start crocheting from here to here with this bumpy of that back loop single crochet showing towards you, all right? So we are going to do an edging here, and this edging is a bit kind of, you can improvise here a little. So I go more or less by what I feel like how many stitches each opening wants. I know that here I want to do 3 for sure. But here, these openings, exactly precisely where you put your hook is really not a big deal as long as you more or less keep your single crochets together. So you're going to start right here at this big opening in the edge here. Okay, so pick up your white yarn and hold it in the back here and insert the hook, yarn over and pull through, and then chain 1. This guy wants to run away, so make sure that this is a long string here so it doesn't escape. All right, now from here, since this is a very big opening, it's a chain 1 space considered, right? We can do another single crochet in it, and look what I'm doing. I'm picking up this loop here. Remember when we went from down here to up here, and I am crocheting it into it so that it will hide inside the single crochet. Then this string here, don't do that because that one I will have to tuck in a different way so that it hides this edge here. So I will do that with a needle later. So leave that one, leave this loopy thing here alone for now. But as you do your single crochets right now, you need to make sure that you hide these strings right here. Make sense? So on this one here, we got 2 single crochets already. So let's go here. And there is the white coming along. Now you already have the brown one as well. Okay, so this one is a loosey one, so kind of tuck it in. It can come along into the big one here. So see, there's a lot of stuff hiding there, but no one will see. It's just not a problem at all. Yeah. And there we go. Keep pulling it with you. And then here's another stitch. So I'm sort of like looking at my edge and seeing where my obvious openings are, and just making single crochets into it. All right, so now there is this string here coming along. So you see everything sort of like gets disguised. All right, so that takes care of that edging that was looking a little bit kind of sloppy, right? If we leave it that way. I like to hide it. So that's what I'm doing here up until that center. And when the tips start becoming too small, then just leave it, forget about it, and start just working without them, because they were tucked in enough, in my opinion. So now I'm here at the big starting point, and we're gonna do 3 single crochets right into it. All right, now on the other side, there isn't much here to do. I mean, there's nothing to hide. We will hide this one here with a needle. So I'm gonna do this with you. So I say, if you change where you insert your hook here by 1 or 2 stitches, it's really not a big deal. And pretty much we're done here. When it's big ones like this, I do 2. Those are usually like the chain 3s that started a row. They make big openings. And then here we go again, a couple more. And we're almost done. Now here at the end, there's 1 big one, do 2. And let me show you how I'm gonna finish it up. I'm going to find, let's see. See, I'm not very precise. That works. Was that very first stitch right there, and slip through. There we go. Now that I will cut. I will pull through, and there we go. Your edging is done. All right, so from here I am going to snip these 2, and I'm going to already weave in the ends so that they are no longer in my way. And what I do is I just put them in my tapestry needle and I weave them into here. Super easy here, just put it in there. Gotta be a thick needle with a big eye, otherwise it won't fit. And try to look at it. See, this was the right side. Try to go into the back side, the wrong side. And just at the bottom of those single crochets right there, just go into it. I don't know how many, doesn't matter really, a good amount. And I would say about 10 stitches or so. And then cut. Stretch it a little. Now this one here where we started always leaves a little bit of brown there. So what I do, I just try to hide it as best as I can. So instead of going on the back side, I go over it maybe once or twice to see if it kind of hides a little. Sometimes it doesn't want to do it. There we go. So it looks like a stitch, see? Yeah. And then I will weave in here. So that's that. Alright, so there, I ended up doing 1 more weave in here for you. Okay? Your turkey wings are ready. So let's get started now on the body of this cute little fella. Now let's work on the body of this turkey. I'm going to change color here to a slight lighter brown, but I'm soon going to be using the white and red. So make sure that they are here ready to go for you. All right, so let's get started. You will need a foundation chain of 15 chains. So let's go. This one here will make your first one. Actually 2 already. I chained 1 more there as I held my bottom here to make my knot. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. One row, all single crochets. So insert the hook in the second chain from the hook. Here's the first one, that's the second. So there it goes. And single crochet throughout the entire chain. So I'll let you do that on your own. There it is. First row is completed and you should have 14 stitches. So count them to make sure it's all there. Here's your first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Very well. So second row, you will do single crochets all throughout as well. So let's chain one here, then turn. So the second row starts right now. Right here, close to home. Make sure you grab both loops. And we go single crochet in every single stitch. So do that to the end of the row. There it is, all completed. And yes, if you count from here to here, you should have 14 stitches still. Now let's go into row 3. Here we will start decreasing. So watch carefully how I do it. Chain 1 and turn. Now we start row 3. So the decreasing stitch here looks like this. Insert and pull through. Then insert the hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now you got 3 here on the hook and go through all 3. That's kind of like crocheting 2 single crochets together. That's the decrease. You go ahead and work single crochets in every single stitch. And when we get to the very last 2, we will then decrease again. So let me do this one here with you. It's getting close. Couple more. There it is. 2 stitches left. So insert, pull through. Insert on the next one, pull through again, and finish up. That is a decrease. Now you should be having 12 stitches. So let's count. Here is this here, see? That's 1. That's the decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's move along to row 4. This is a decreasing round as well. However, there will be something to change color here in just a little bit. So watch carefully. First we chain, then we turn. Now row 4 is starting. Decrease on the first 2 stitches. Now do this. Work the remnant stitches here until you have 2 left. And then we will work this decrease here together and change color. Okay, so I'll show you how I do that. There it is, 2 stitches left. So I'm going to decrease, but I'm also going to change color. So have your red available here, ready to go, because you're going to use it in a second. So do the decrease here, and then go ahead and continue, but do not finish. All right, so you grab the red here, put it, leave a long tail here. Put it in the back here, hold tight, and then finish it. There we go. So you finished your decrease, and you also changed colors. Every time when we change color, the new color wants to be a bit loosey here. So just leave a long tail, and it will not escape. And you have to sort of tighten it up here. You kinda have to make an effort to do that. Okay? So this finishes row 4. Now let's move along to row 5. You go ahead and chain. Turn around, and row 5 starts now. It's also a decreasing round, so go ahead and decrease on the first 2 stitches here. There. Work the remnant stitches and decrease on the last 2. There, that's it. The row before this one here, where we were still doing the brown one, we had 10 stitches. I forgot to sort of double check that with you, didn't I? So that should be 10, and by now, after this decrease and this decrease, you should have 8. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Cool? For the row 6th, we're going to decrease one more time. Okay, so here's row 6th. And then again, we're going to change color here at the end. Okay, this time you will need the white available, so make sure it's there. So here we go, row 6. Decrease here. and it's kind of really getting so close to each other. We might as well just do it together, right? Yeah, so there it is already. See, it comes quick. Now decrease here, but do not finish it. Change color. There we go. Leave a long tail. And there we go. That's row 6 completed. And if you look back here, you should have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As for the brown and the red, you can actually cut them away. Here, leave a tail about this much because we're not gonna go and use brown again. So you might as well just get it out of your way. Same thing for the red, kind of about this, because then at least these guys are not bothering you here, because we're not gonna go back to red either. Okay, now we're all working with white. Make sense? Very good. So now we are moving into row 7. Row 7 is a increasing round, so we're gonna make some stitches here. Okay, so let's go. I chained and turn. Now I'm going to start row 7. Okay, go ahead and single crochet increase right here on the first stitch. Single crochet increase. Work on the remnant stitches, which is not many, so let's do it together here until you get to the very last one and increase again. All right, so now you got 8 stitches here, correct? There is 1, 2, see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. That was row 7. For row 8, you're going to simply do 1 single crochet on each stitch right there. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that was row 8. Now row 9 is a decreasing round again. So we're gonna lose some stitches here. All right, so chain 1 and turn. Row 9 starts now. Decrease on the very first 2 stitches. Work on a few more until you get to the end, till you have 2 left. And now you have a decrease again, see? And here you should have 6 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that was row 9. Row 10 is a decreasing round again. So chain 1, turn. So here we go, row 10. Decrease on the very first 2. Work on the ones in the middle here, which is not many, 2 actually. And then decrease here again. Now your total of stitches should be 4. See? 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. Perfect. Now finally, row 11, we decrease 1 more time. Chain 1 and turn. So here goes row 11. You actually do 2 decreases, 1 back to back to each other, 1 after each other. So here is 1 decrease. That makes 1 stitch. And here's another decrease, which makes another stitch. There, all done. That is the body of the turkey, made like a triangle. Okay, so from here, you go ahead and cut, pull through. Wonderful. And it is time for you to weave in the ends here again. Decide what is your right side for you, and then you're going to weave in your ends into the wrong side. So this is the wrong side for me. So I'm going to pick up that tapestry needle, and I'm going to show you how I do one of them. And then you can work on the others, okay? So here it is. I try to bring it towards the middle of the work, and I try to hide it here among its own color. So I go down the line a couple stitches, pull through, not too tight, leave room, kind of stretch it out, and then cut. Cut nice and close. And then do the same thing with this one, with this one, with this one, and with this one here at the edge too. Kind of, you have to bring it into here. That's what I do. They have to hide among the stitches of its own color if possible. So do that on your own, and then we will be ready to work on the beak. For the beak, you will need orange, and you will also need red. With the orange, chain 5. Okay, a foundation chain of 5. Okay, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet throughout the entire chain now. You do start that on the second chain from the hook. There's the first one, there's the second, right there. Single crochet there, and then again here, that makes 2, 3, and 4 stitches. Exactly, that's all you get, 4 stitches. That was row 1. For row 2, let's first chain, and we're going to decrease right away. So turn here, decrease on the next 2 stitches, single crochet decrease here and here, and then again right away. There isn't much to work here. Another single crochet decrease. Make sure this one has both loops included. That's that. Now for row 3, we chain 1 and turn, and here's row 3 starting. You do 1 decrease. That's it. That's it. But hang on, we are not going to finish this one up. Hold it right here. We are going to change color, and we are going to do the waddle of the turkey here right away. It's gonna be just hanging there. So here we go. See, you have your 3 loops right there. There's your red, and change color like that. Now that you got the color change done, do 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then finish it off right here. That's it. So leave a good piece there for us to weave this in. And there we go. Okay, now the orange here was done as well. Leave a long tail. Good. And we are going to go ahead and sew this onto the beak right away. Okay, so this is what will happen. You will sew this on right here. And I'm saying sewing on with this. We manually do this. Okay, now you will have to attach this here to the red there, so it looks like that. So let's do one thing at a time. Okay, first of all, let's hide all the orange tails here. So do that with every single tail except this one here that you finished up your chain. That one you leave because you will need that. All the other tails you need to weave in. I already showed you how to weave in here, so use the same idea on this one here. Find the bases of the single crochets to do that, and that's that. So go ahead and do that with these 2 here as well on your own. Now I'm going to pick about this much here of orange. I don't need a lot. Yeah, about this much here to sew in that beak to where I want it. So this is how I'm going to do it. Here it is. And yes, on the other side, I had the red one because I didn't want to weave that tail into the chain. So I kind of slightly weaved it in here at the very top loops so that it wouldn't show on the other side. So it looks a little funky on this side, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be sewed on this way. So no one is going to really see it. Okay. So all you have to do is to place it more or less centered, and I like to start in the middle. So I went through it and I leave about this much here like that, and then I just go and bring it in and somewhere out. It's kind of a little random. It's not like an exact formula here on where you want this to sew on. As close to the edge as possible. Don't worry about the back. Nobody's gonna see that because that is going to be sewed onto the wings of the turkey. So there we go. And do that all around here. All right. I'll do the whole thing here with you, okay? So if you're doing it a little differently, kind of using more stitches or not, that's okay. As long as you feel that the beak is gonna stay in place, right? So I'm pretty much back to where I started. So let me sort of go up to here, and then I'm gonna go backwards a little so that I am having two strings here that I can just make a knot. So I'm gonna tie a knot like that and cut the strings just a little shorter. Okay, that's attached. All right, now the waddle. I'm going to sort of like bring it down here and just put this string through the red there with my needle and then hide it in the back. All right, so leave it more or less loose like that. So I would say about here, just pretty much going anywhere in the red there. Yeah. Okay. And then there it is. Here, I will weave it in once and then again on the same spot and then make a knot like that. Nice and tight. Cut and done. There we go. So the body and beak of your turkey is completed. Now let's work on the feet. Now this is how a foot looks like. So cute, huh? So you're going to make two of these. So I gotta do one more, and that's the one I'm gonna do with you. So let's get started. It's very easy to make this little foot. Now Kitty is here. Hope she'll behave because she's always full of surprises, right? Okay, so let's do the foot. Chain 3 with orange. So that already gives me one chain, so two more. 1, 2. Now slip stitch on the second chain from the hook. That's the first, that's the second. Slip stitch right there. Slip stitch on the next one, which happens to be the first one. That's one toe actually. Now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do the same. Slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. It's the first one, that's the second, right there. Just a slip stitch. And then a slip stitch on the first one. Now chain 3 again. So that's the second toe. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch on the second chain from the hook. And then on the first one here. And there we go, we got 3 toes here. All right, now slip stitch on each of these loops here on the base of the toe. See, there is a loop here. Slip stitch, then slip stitch here. It's not a full slip stitch, you're inserting the hook and pulling through the yarn. And then here, so until you have 4. So pretty much one pull through, yarn over, you name it, on the base of each foot. And then yarn over and go through all 4. See? Good one. Now we're going to do 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch on the second chain from the hook again. So there is 1, and then do it again. and then still one more time. There. And then here you finish off. Now this one here is the one that you leave untouched. You don't weave this one in. Okay? This one you're going to use to attach the leg to the other part, the rest of the turkey. Okay? Now, we gotta deal with this one here. So let's pick up that needle and weave in. This one here can be a little tricky, you know. There is kind of like a right and wrong side of this. This is, in my opinion, the right side when I see the stitches on the side here clearly. And this looks a bit more kind of like a bunch of just knots, right? So I think this one looks like the right side. So I like to weave in on the wrong side. And it kind of left a gap here, see? So what I do is I kind of go into here first, anywhere really, right there on that knot, and sort of bring them together a little. And then I'll do it one more time, just lightly on any loop. Doesn't have to be too tight. Makes sense? So that they look like it's one piece. It makes it look a little bit more like one unit. All right, now here then I find another piece of 2 loops, or yeah, 2 loops anywhere really. I'm not too fussy on where that is. And go through here and make a knot. So if you do it slightly different than me, really it's not a huge deal, okay? Then, because these guys are gonna be dangling and not attached to anything, I want to just bring the string up and hide it so that it's hopefully the end of this will never show. Hopefully. Go up and up and up, 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 and there. So then here I can do that. See? Okay, so there is the foot. Now this piece here, we're gonna use this to attach the feet to the body here. Now our next job is to assemble this turkey here. So you have your feet ready, you have the body ready, beak is on. So now we are going to first attach the feet on the side of this hole here, and then we are going to attach this sort of like on it. Okay, so let's do that. You will need the tapestry needle and the actual string here of the foot. So I will attach one foot, and then I'll let you do the other one on your own. Okay, so here it is. Let's just bring this string up a bit on its wrong side, sort of like about here. Don't pull it too hard. Okay, and then we are gonna place them more or less one on each side of the center hole here. So there isn't really like a huge magic formula here. I sort of like put it there, put it in. It sounds so like there and here and over there, right? So simple, but it kind of is. I mean, you don't want to attach too much of the leg, right? You want to make sure that the leg has enough room to kind of hang here. So kind of just a tip here on the brown. Oh, gotta get it in the right spot. And then pull in again. And then again somewhere over there. Because it doesn't really matter, because this is gonna come over this. So if it's a little not too neat, it's really not like the end, you know. And then maybe one more time. Okay, that looks like it's enough to me. Yeah, and then here I'm simply going to leave this, make a knot here first. So go ahead and attach the other foot. Here's the 2 feet nicely attached. Looking cute, right? So now let's attach the body. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach it slightly over the white, okay? And I'm going to use the brown yarn. I have a long piece here. Yeah, so big long piece. So I'm going to attach it from here down here and then stop here. Then I'm gonna do white from here to here. The red part here, I'm not even gonna touch. It's not necessary to even worry about that. So let's start with the brown. And again, I'm going to show you what I do and then let you do your own thing as you move on attaching it, because you know it's kind of a bit of common sense, and what makes what it feels like it looks right at the moment you're doing it. You want to make sure that they are centered. So start from the wrong side, find a spot, and then I try to just attach it. Of course, leave a piece here about this much, and then I just go around the edge as best as I can. And when I come to the corner, just sort of turn around. There isn't really, you don't need to do a huge ton of stitches here. It's just to attach, that's it. Okay, then here's a corner, see? I just kind of turn around. I just want to make sure that this body here is not covering the white too much. I want it to be more or less like that. So now from here, just kind of keep going until you are all around, until you get back to the other side. Now here, there's a big hole, right? Even I'm thinking now, what am I gonna do? I honestly am gonna see when I get there. See, usually things like these are sort of like common sense, you know, and maybe today I have a way of doing it, and maybe another day I could have come up with a different idea. It does happen like that. So I'm here now at the foot, and I'm gonna attach it at the other side of the foot. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I am going to go all around here and then attach it here once. See, I totally improvised this. And then come down here and see, now I landed on the other side. Ha, I think that worked. So you see how as we crochet, the more and more we do this, the more we sort of like figure things out as we go, and we learn new techniques. Sometimes they look a little sloppy, but the end run doesn't really like, it's not a big deal, you know, especially if it's not something that you're actually gonna wear, right? Okay, so now here, do the same thing up until there. And that's the last one right there, and I will simply hide it in the back here. Bring it through a couple stitches. So I made a knot and bring it through a couple stitches. And then cut. And I will do the weaving in of this here exactly the same. Make a knot and then weave in through a couple stitches. Now all we have to do is to do the white here. So kinda same idea, but I'll make sure I start this with you and finish it up with you. Now here with the white threaded, just like I done the brown, I insert from the back here, anywhere really. Leave about this much, like that, and start going down and in, and so all around. I'm doing big stitches here. All right, so there, it's done. It's done. It's almost done. There, almost done. Almost done. Yay. This was such a fun project to do. Yeah, it takes a little bit of assembly, but gee, when it's done, it looks adorable. Look at him, Mr. Gobble Gobble. Do a simple knot here will do. Just like that. Nobody will see this. Right? I'll do the same with the orange. Just leave the strings about here. That and that. Okay. And then I realized I did not deal with this one here. I'm going to weave it in just like here and be done. So, finished. If you came this far, I would love to see a picture of your project completed. In my Facebook group, you can participate there and post pictures. So descriptions below have my Facebook group, so you can ask to be added there. So looks really cute, and I hope you were successful. Let me know how you felt about doing this. It can be a little tricky, and if the instructions were clear, and if you got to the end, it's because I think the instructions were clear. So I hope you enjoyed the process of making this. And happy Thanksgiving, and may it be full of blessings. And in a couple weeks, yes, it's Merry Christmas. So see you then. Bye.